Damn, that was rough. That was a rough start. I'm down here now. Shit. What's your thing? Okay. So, once again, we're looking for fights in groups. Once again, we're looking for fights in groups. Seems to be hitting pretty hard. Yeah, that's not bad. Anytime we can get them in a group where, like, there's a little guy in there. Every time we can get them in a group where there's a little guy in the group, like one of these rats, that's an instant kill for anything that gets hit. That's really cool. I like the scavenging bombard, but it doesn't have nearly the upside that the Tesla coil does. Yeah, the scissors we got from the tailor's assistant. That shit's not yours, bud. They are slow, but they are downright useful, to be sure. Like that just killed that explosive crossbow guy in one fewer hit. Ah. I may have messed up the ability to hit 30 here. I'll try. It might be time for an outfit change, too. I just want to work on opening up the map. Maybe we will go to the castle outskirts. Yeah, maybe the Dumb and Dumber Tux has run its course. Mayhaps it's true. Get the fuck out of here, man. Ugh. I didn't get that shot through in time. There absolutely goes my 30. What a bummer. What a bummer. I thought I could make that work. That kills the elite. Oh, that's really good. That almost makes up for it. Almost. That almost makes up for it. Timon, what's going on, homeboy? Hey, Taffy and chat, may all you beautiful souls find all the love you deserve. Thank you, man. It would have to start from within. I'm gonna have to do some eye drops today. Well, there are two more bad guys in a shop, so we might as well go give the old looksy-do. See, that's how I wanted that to go down. But I was too slow. I should have been more patient. I maybe should have stunned him. I think I should just treat the scissors as, if it works, great, but assume it's not going to. Because it's, yeah, it's really, really slow. Back in school already, Jiminy Christmas. I thought my kids were getting an early start. Not really crazy about any of these options. Damn. I do love a repeater crossbow. But not for six Gs. My kids have been back in school for a week now. Good grief. Doing alright, woke up very early, finally fell back asleep at 6 a.m. and slept 2 more hours. I went to bed at 11 and still woke up at 7:15 this morning, wishing I could get another hour of sleep. My kids started back last week. School took a grant from the Department of Education to test pilot year-round school. We've got a couple of places here in the Richmond area that are doing year-round, where they'll do, you know, basically a couple months on and then a couple weeks off, and then a couple months on and then a couple of weeks off. For the sheer volume of food that you bought me, Alicane, I refuse for you to not have emotes. I find that bothersome. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. I feel like if I'm going to upgrade anything, it should be what I'm using the most. And I'll hold off because I have no idea if I'm going to stick with that ice grenade. What am I doing with my life? What's going on here? What did I pick up that's double damage? That's the wrong button, you dumb shit. Oh, the scissors are just the double damage. Got it. That's fine. Year-round school sounds like a nightmare. Amber broke down why it was useful in some instances the other day, which was like, if you got things that you want to do that are during the fall, winter, or spring, it's hard to do because school's in session. But if there are committed breaks in every season, you can do year-round trips, for different reasons at different times of year. Plus, it's potentially more helpful if you're somebody who can't, like, your job doesn't afford you a lot of easy outs for providing 3 months of childcare once a year. Like, if you work and your kids are just suddenly out of school from June to August. I'd never really thought about that before. So, like, I initially thought about it and went, ew, year-round school, but then Amber started spitting facts, and I was like, well, okay, yeah, I can see how it would be beneficial to some people, for sure. My mom worked at the school district, so she always got, summer off, too. Don't get hit, stupid. Hey, El Pablo, what's going on, man? motherfucker, how many times am I gonna let that get me? How many times am I gonna let those, oh shit. How many times am I gonna let those spikes hit me? I'm a big dumb idiot. Sounds similar to here. We have 4 10-week terms and short breaks between, a little longer than Christmas. A little longer at Christmas. Good morning, Taffy and chat. Y'all looking cute today, especially Barber Taffy, who's using the scissors to just take a little bit off the top. Yeah, they're working okay. I'm kind of warmed up to the idea of having double damage, double damage output. Just because at this point in Boss Cells 3, like, it's not catastrophic to get hit, but it's bad. So I might as well be getting the damage output for that. Yeah, El Pablo, y'all are back at 110, huh? I heard that on NPR this morning, talked about the persistent heat. And I'm like, it can't be that bad. Like, in my heart, I wanted to be like, it can't be that bad. And they're like, the Dallas-Fort Worth area will be back into the 110s. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, that's pretty bad. That's, with Texas humidity, that's pretty fucking terrible. That is soul crushing. You right. Ooh, I thought he was gonna get me on that one. Oh, right, I forgot I was in a little enclosed space. Well, shit. I burnt my legs on my leather seats. Oh yeah, I can only imagine. I heard somebody in a meme TikTok song talking about like hot leather seats in the Texas heat right now, or accidentally catching your belt buckle in a car on bare skin and branding yourself. And I was like, I forgot that was a thing. That absolutely is a thing. It's, I'm in South Texas. It's 8:43 a.m. right now. My phone says it's 83, but it feels like it's 95. My son has baseball at noon on Saturday. The coach was like, nope, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm gonna give it a shot. I might end up regretting that and missing the damage. But I might not. But we do have a little bit of a wombo combo for what it's worth. Oh, I can't hurt you. Could you imagine getting a modifier that added stun to Casey? It would just be a crit machine. I wonder if it can even do that. Yo, Preston! Long time no see, man. Preston's one of those OG viewers that goes all the way back to like 2011. Coop, what's going on? Oklahoma, 82 here, feels like 89. I'm gonna be the asshole here just because I'm I'm happy and I want to share the happiness, even if it makes a lot of you sad.
This is the story of the newest denizen of
We were watching Good Omens 2 last night, and it's always funny to me that when Good Omens 2, or when Good Omens is on, whenever we're done with an episode, Grayson takes on the attitude of Crowley. No! Grayson always takes on, like, Crowley's attitude, and Rory takes on Aziraphale. So at the end of last night's, episode, I fucking jumped into it. Damn, I thought I had the timing on that right. On the end of last night's episode, Rory walked to the door and was filled up with the spirit of Aziraphale and turned to Amber and goes, "Mom, would you care to join me on the back patio? It is a lovely evening outside." And of course, Amber swooned. Because that's cute as hell. And then Amber went outside, and this is where I feel like I feel bad about saying this.
This is the story of the newest denizen of the cave.
But Amber went outside and stepped onto our back patio and goes, "Ooh, it's actually like a little bit chilly outside." And the first thing I thought was like, man, there are viewers who would stab me in the neck with a knitting needle if they heard that. Taffy, I saw the video the other day, remembering those 1980s GM belt buckles and those hitting your skin in the head. Scanning. Hold on. Yo, Framery, thank you for the 3 months of gifties to Preston. Appreciate that, man. Preston, enjoy the emotes as always. Just been busy. Graduated med school and started pediatric residency. Holy shit. I'm always so proud of everybody here who goes on to do things with their lives, considering the fact that a lot of you were, let me check my notes, fucking children when I started streaming. And now, you know, I've got one viewer who was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm at Johns Hopkins." And I've got Preston going like, "Oh yeah, I'm in pediatric residency." And I'm just like, I'm still here playing video games, talking about my genitals, woo! Crowley and Aziraphale would be an awesome Halloween costume for the boys. I agree. Framery, thank you for the 3 months gifted to Kiba. I didn't even notice that. Kiba, evening. Happy to have you back. Framery with a gifty to Coop as well. Framery dressing the unclothed masses. I have to put up with you for another 3 months, thanks to Framery. Damn. Guess Kiba's not going anywhere. Ice, welcome back, my dude. Speaking of people who have gifted a bunch of subs this week, surprise, surprise. Just had some new pediatric residency fellows. I'm here for the genitals. Well, good news for you. I think I can go back to the gym today because my taint is way less chafed than it was yesterday. I'm pretty excited about it. I could just go heavy crossbow. I do love me. Fuck the heavy crossbow. What's the heavy crossbow ever done for me? I do like the frost blast, but all genital talk all the time. The tricky bit is that, like, to keep myself from ever crossing over into don't you ever leave me alone with Taffy at a party territory. It's always really disheartening shit about my genitals. It's always just like, oh no, that's the worst. You poor man. It's never just like, hey, check out my awesome junk. It's almost always like, hey, be grateful you don't have my junk.
This is the story of the newest denizen of the cave.
I'm going to Ohio today. My son and wife are there. I was waiting, I was like, there has to be a reason. If I was going to see, like the last time I was excited to go to Ohio, I was going to Cleveland to meet up with a friend of mine named Lindsay from theater days. My old theater stomping grounds buddy. That was back during a time in my life where I was a sexual deviant, she was a sexual deviant, we never hooked up with each other, but we reveled in each other's stories. So I went and saw her at a point in time where I was taking my my car got broken into in Philly. You're gonna be shocked to hear that somebody, and this is I have to work this out for people. Somebody who did not own my car decided to help themselves to the contents of my car. Taffy, that's not how ownership works. He can't take your stuff if he's not you. That's what I thought. I was convinced that that's how that worked. But this person, and this is the genius bit of it, chose to disregard that portion of the law that says they can't have my things because they're my things, and then just took them. And it turns out, if you don't know who they are and can't find them afterwards, they just get to keep it. It's kind of like if they run the risk of getting scolded, but if they don't get caught, that stuff's just theirs. So I was pretty upset about it. So I took my car someplace where those particular thieves weren't and put it near an entirely different set of thieves. Yeah. And on the drive over, I stopped in Cleveland and saw my buddy Lindsay. So yeah, I remember being very excited because I like Lindsay. She's great. I haven't talked to her in decades, but I remember being very excited to get to Ohio to see Lindsay. This is the big move day. Ooh, that is exciting. That's like, oh, that churned up nerves inside of me for some reason. Empathetically, I'm like, oh, like butterflies. That's a lot. That's a big thing to digest. Bumbarian tier 1, almost 3 years, just about that 3-year mark of my sub. You have much better pictures of the house waiting for you later. I had to stop and not look at all of them earlier on stream. Like, I wasn't bringing them up on stream. I don't want to like show people your business, but yeah, I had to stop and at least peruse them for myself earlier. You were talking about your genitals when the AC man came back from outside. He's welcome. If he's working on the AC during the summer in Virginia, I guarantee you his taint is chafed too. Scanning. Kiva says you've seen my wife drive. Drive fast. Do not brake unless the law or physics dictate you must. You've reached the age, Taffy, that I was at the restaurant bathroom. I've reached the age, Taffy, where I was at the restaurant bathroom using the toilet and I had a seat, my balls hit the water, and I fucking hate getting old. 2 cantaloupes inside plastic shopping bags. They're just the best. Captain Salty Dog, welcome back. My car's gotten broken into 5 times, and 5 times they left my CDs. I have been offended. I have been offended in the past when somebody's broken into my car. Like they've like knocked out a window, and I go in there and the things that I thought were valuable have been left behind every time. Hey, would you obey the laws of physics in this world? Thank you, game. Currently investigating a robbery of an automobile by gunpoint, oddly enough. No shit. Huh. When I called Philadelphia's police department to let them know my car was broken into, I filed a short report over the phone with the receptionist. I don't know what to call it. The desk sergeant who took my call, whatever. They didn't even send somebody out. They were just like, hey, thanks, noted. We'll add it to our annual crime statistics. And I was like, oh. Okay. That's right. Okay, yeah, you're Philadelphia. There's probably bigger fish to fry. I called 911 and was like, I wasn't in tears, but I was like, I was emotionally distraught because I'd had a fucking terrible week that week. I'd had an audition that went really poorly. Amber and I weren't in a bad place, but we were just in that place where we kind of had to decide whether or not we were shitting or getting off the pot. Like, it was commitment time. So it was like, man, am I on the verge of getting married? Man, my career's going nowhere. Shit, I'm in my late 20s and I'm a table waiter with no prospects to progress my quote-unquote dream career. And then on top of that, I was like poor, living in a major city. And someone broke into my car, and the only thing of value I had in my car was a iPod Nano that was like $300. It was the first time I'd ever taken, or the Shuffle. It was the first time I'd ever taken it out of the house. and I left it in the car by accident, and they found it inside the glove compartment where I'd tried to hide it instinctively. They broke into my car for like 75 cents in toll booth change that was in the ashtray. And I just remember that whole time. I called 911. I was just like, man, listen, I don't know if this is an emergency to you, but this is pretty fucked up for me. Somebody broke into my car, and I don't know where else to call. And to the lady's credit, this Philadelphia 911 operator goes, that is absolutely an emergency to you. You called the right number. Let me see if I can help you out. And I was like, that's the nicest thing anyone said to me in like 3 months. This fucking city's crushing me. Somebody acknowledging that my situation was not enviable was like the nicest thing anyone had ever said to me. Good on you to whoever that 911 operator was. Some asshole got into my car at work a couple of days ago, didn't take anything, just rifled through everything and left 2 pennies and a dime on my driver's side seat. Ugh. I fucking hate thieves, man. Like, if you're somebody who's stealing groceries so you don't starve, or if you're Jean Valjeaning it, I ain't got nothing against you. But if you're just out there stealing as a fucking opportunist, man, my punishment would be disproportionate to your crime. Ever since I was a kid, like, theft has felt like a personal violation that makes me just disproportionately angry. My day job as a private investigator. Cops don't follow up on auto thefts because it's considered in large a civil matter. This car was stolen by gunpoint. The assaulted the passengers, then burned the car. The only people investigating are the insurance company who hired me and the fire marshal because of arson. The cops couldn't care less. Man, worth every penny. But if you ever need a person of color shot in their fucking bed, you know who to call. Yeah, honestly, if you're gonna steal from like, well, I don't want to name any big box brands in case they ever show up here to sponsor me. But like, if you wanna rip off a fucking big ass corporation, then knock yourself out. But I don't know, man. Even the argument that it's like, oh, well, I'm in a bad state and I really need this, or else, doesn't fly with me, because a lot of the times when I see it happen, it's like, whoever broke into my car and stole my fucking iPod broke into the car of a guy who had negative money and was floundering and made my situation, which was probably close to, if not worse than theirs, even worse. You know what I mean? Like, they took from somebody who was in the same spot as them. So at best, they shuffled it around, like they shuffled the poverty and anxiety around. All right. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything, because this place is hard as hell to get back to. Sponsors kind of count as stealing. Are you trying to insinuate that the service I give them is not of the value I charge? Is that what you're saying, Richie? Is it? Oh God, I almost fucked that up. These fucking suck. I had my car broken into, nothing of value in the car. I had a picture of my grandfather who passed away before I was born. I had a picture of my wife on our wedding day and a picture of me and my parents when I was 6 years old. They tore the pictures up because they were mad there was nothing of value to them. Yep. That's the kind of shit. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. Is it's like, I had my car broken into. It was a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and that sounds really nice, but it was used and it was falling apart. It's the reason that I ended up eventually getting the Mariner. My parents helped me, and obviously that's a pretty good thing to have, like a pretty good resource to have. But like, I was working at a job where I was making like, I think $350 a week as a touring children's theater actor. And I remember being in just disbelief, because it was the first time I'd really lived by myself in a major city. And I was in such disbelief because, like, I was in theater housing in a not great part of Richmond. I was in theater housing in a not great part of Richmond. They broke into my car. They broke out a window, they ripped out the ignition, and they tried to jumpstart the car with a flathead screwdriver. But the way that a Jeep transmission is set, the way that a Jeep transmission is set up, it's a pinhole, not a flat turning mechanism. So they saw that pinhole mechanism had a flathead screwdriver and went, well, fuck it, we can't do anything, and they just left. But they left me with like $1,600 worth of repairs 20 years ago. $1,600 worth of repairs, and I was like, damn, that's like a month of what I make at work. And I went to my employers at the theater company and I was like, is there anything you can do to help me out? And they were like, nope, sorry bud, that's just what life does sometimes. And I was like, yeah, but this happened living in the shitty part of Richmond at a house that you kind of insist I live at because you don't pay me enough to live at any other house. And they were just like, not a lot of money in Richmond Children's Theater, bud, sorry. You can pick up a part-time job so long as it's okay with you going on the road for 3 weeks out of the month. It was the only time in my life I remember being so broke that it affected my eating habits. Where I was just kind of like, obviously the way I eat today is not how I ate back then. Like just going like, oh, you know what, 50 bucks on ramen sounds good. Let's do that for lunch. But I mean, like, I was making so little money back in those days that I remember my buddy and I being like, all right, if we both go halvesies on a thing of ground beef and a loaf of bread and a package of American cheese, we can make a whole shitload of hamburgers and just live on that through the week. And we can get the expenses down where it's like less than $1 a hamburger, because that was like what we could do. No, Piccolo, this was this was a children's theater in Richmond. That was the first job outside of Idaho I ever had. I mean, they're not wrong. They had no money to give me, and there was no stipulation inside of my contract that stated like that they had to help me, but I just remember feeling I felt very violated, and I felt like I had no recourse for it. I just, you know, I was just like, oh, we just live in a world where bad things happen to good people and there's no justice or retribution or making me whole? Neat. Existence is grand. The best anti-theft device for a car is a manual transmission from experience. You act like people should have a living wage. I'm shocked at this socialism talk. That's funny. I mean, what's funny is that the Bruce Willis place wouldn't have been able to do any more. Because, like, he was there as a figurehead, and he was cutting them, I think, huge deals so that they could afford to exist. But, like, I like acting. I like acting a lot. Like, I really like acting. I think if I ever saw money in acting, that maybe I could have given it the effort that I gave this. But there's no money in it unless you're doing, like, big budget Hollywood stuff. And even then, like, as you've seen, there's money for Bryan Cranston. But Bryan Cranston's out there striking because, like, 92% of people who call themselves actors don't make enough money in their union, which is like 23 grand a year, by the way. Don't make the 20 some odd $1,000 a year necessary to get health insurance from the union. So, like, unless you're at the very tippity top of the pyramid, or are the production studio doing film, there's just fucking no money. And so, like, I really like acting, but I can't think of really any, especially any theater off the top of my head. I can't think of any theater off the top of my head that has enough money laying around that they can afford to really do the right thing. They're usually fighting to keep their head above water and not drown. The sad truth, and I think part of the reason that once I got out of theater, I think the sad truth and part of the reason that once I got out of theater, I never bothered trying to go back was that unless it's heavily subsidized, there's no realistic market for it anymore. Generally speaking, man, people just don't care about the arts enough to make them financially viable. That's not to say that they're without value. I find great value in the arts, me personally. But they are not, oh shit. But they are not financially valued in this day and age. Theft makes me so angry. Mark Rover's out here making glitter bombs, and all I can think of is why not a pipe bomb? Yeah, no, I'm tongue-in-cheek with you because I have definitely had revenge fantasies about catching a thief in the act and being like, well, this is the part where I remove your hamstrings or some crazy shit like that. Some Liam Neeson fucking Taken stuff. For sure. Yeah, no, Piccolo, that's been a thing for a long time. SAG, the Screen Actors Guild, or AFTRA, which is the same guild but for theater actors. When I was an actor, I mean, like, as much as I like to shortchange myself, at the point in time in my life where I was a legitimate, bona fide, paid working actor, I acted for like 3 years and did nothing else for a living. So it's kind of like when people go like, oh man, you're a Twitch streamer? Are you like a professional gamer? And I'm like, nah, I'm just a guy who found some people who took pity on him and they pay his bills, and in return I get to say I'm a professional streamer. And they're like, well, how long have you been doing that? And I'm like, oh, 6 years. And they're like, well, it sounds to me like, have you been doing anything else? Not unless I want to. It's like, oh man, well, it sounds to me like you're a professional gamer. Oh yeah, I guess so. So it's the same thing for theater where like, I go, oh, well, I was a professional actor for 3 years, but like, I didn't get paid a lot of money. But I also didn't do anything else but act for like 3.5 years, and I paid all my bills, and I had a roof over my head, and it wasn't great food, but I had food in my belly. And I didn't do anything else for years, unless I wanted to. But even then, whenever you got cast in something, you'd find out like, oh, so-and-so's a union actor. And the first thought that would go through your head was, oh shit, I didn't realize they were doing that good. Because the union aspect of it was like being a partner on Twitch. It didn't necessarily mean you were gonna make money, but people would look at that and instantly go like, shit, you've accomplished some stuff. But then they're like, just like being a partner on Twitch, you have to continue to perform and earn in such a way that the rewards seem to keep on coming. Otherwise, at some point, it just atrophies and becomes ornamental. You're just paying to continue to say that you're a union actor. I will say my favorite game as of late is Shadows of Doubt. Shows, albeit hyper stylized, the true investigative process for solving crimes. Shadows of Doubt. I'm gonna pull that up on a tab so I can look at it later. Damn, it's got good reviews too. Fucking 9 out of 10 on Steam with 4,300 reviews. First-person detective stealth video game by Coal Power Games. Came out in April. I'd never even heard of it before. I'm gonna leave that tab open. Hard to care about the arts when, like you said, people don't make enough living wage. Yeah, no, I agree. It's not me finger wagging at the general public. The arts are kind of something that you get to appreciate when all of your other basic human needs are being met. Sadly, some kids or people have no option but to steal. Not saying what they're doing is right, just saying that they are not all pure evil. I feel like you may have come in the middle of that conversation. That's definitely how we started it. My initial preface was, if you're Jean Valjeaning bread so that you and your kids don't starve from like a big box retailer, then I got nothing, whatever. Do you, don't get caught. My beef is with people who, my beef is with people who are engaging in crimes of opportunity, not necessity. So yeah, from that fork in the road, we've had this conversation about the particular branch of theft that infuriates us the most. I'm not out here like I'm stumping for the RNC going like, we should shoot all thieves on sight. Not all theft is created equal, but the theft of opportunity versus the theft of necessity, the theft of opportunity drives me fucking wild. That really does sound only like the passion for acting is what keeps people going at it. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I used to have professors and friends and stuff who said like, you need to act as though you're as though you need it to survive. Like, you need to act as though you're using it to draw breath. And I never, as much as it pains me to say it, I never had that level of dedication to it. I had that level of dedication to this. I did this for years and lost money doing it. But I had to. I had to do this. If I didn't do this, I felt incomplete. And I get that now. And I don't know that I ever felt that way about acting. That said, now that I've discovered what that level of discipline and commitment feels like, I might be able to reverse engineer that. I enjoyed it that much. I just never knew what it felt like to be that level of hungry. But I can only chase like one pipe dream at a time. So for me, getting back into acting really has become like a retirement dream. Like, there's a lot of good old man roles to play out there. So maybe I can stay lucid enough in my third act, as it were, to potentially go back and pursue that. Cletus says, when did retirement launch? May. Mid-May. Mellow Muffin, what's going on? I've been playing Shadows a lot, talk about my job and files, what are now disclosable case files, names change and such. It's a wildly good game. It feels like it went under the radar. It's only in pre-release stage alpha, but it has so much. Full release in 2024. I think their roadmap just came out on Twitter. I'm gonna have to go give that a look. Lisa, hi friend. I work in retail. My single store makes almost 20K a day, and they have the nerve to pay us around 13 an hour. It's crazy how much money we see come in, and none of it goes to the people who are keeping the store running. I wish I had just enough to go back to school and make a decent living. I don't want to be rich. I just want to be comfortable. That was always when Nate and I were always talking about like what my goals were as an anything. A lot of my responses really were just in the beginning. Like, it's changed a little now, and he found that very interesting to be around when my goals changed from like comfort to long-term stability. When that pivot happened, he was fascinated by it, because for literal years, Nate would kind of be musing about like, what's our grander design on this? What are we trying to accomplish long-term for ourselves? What are our goals? And I'd be like, my goal is to not be fucking evicted from my rental house. Is that a good goal? And he was like, oh, really? Like, that is that? And I'm like, yeah, brother, it's that hard out here for a pimp. You know? Like, what do you want me to say? It's like, it is really proven to be quite something else out here for somebody who's got a theater degree. But then, things went well for us, and things went well for me here. And so now for the time being, I've got comfortable, which was always the goal for the longest time. And now I'm at a place where I'm like, well, what's the next rung on the ladder? Could I potentially retire one day? I'm still light years away from that, but it would be cool. Yeah, comfort was the biggest. It's not even really that I don't want to be rich or anything like that. I just don't want to work until I die. That scares the shit out of me. I've been tired for a decade now. The idea of being tired for another 30 years, grinding it out to make other people money, makes me fucking... borderline hostile to myself. One of the two big supermarkets in Australia is being criminally charged for over $1 million in wage theft. Yeah, I wouldn't stop somebody from stealing from them. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We have Skyrim Grandma, you could be Rogue Grandpa. I don't care about that. If this was the job I was gonna do for 30 years, if you told me that I got to cash out one day and the only job, real job that I would ever hold long term would be this job, sold. Sign me up. I would take that almost like if you win the lottery and you can do the lump sum or the annuity, like revert, and everyone says like take the lump sum, not the annuity. Like the reverse of that. If you were just like, you could take some gambles and maybe retire in like your 40s and have a bunch of money, or it could all go sideways and you'd lose streaming and you'd end up, you know, dying on the floor of one of these big box retailers as the oldest guy with a name badge and a vest. Or you could grind it out streaming for another 20 years and retire comfortably but not absurdly. I'd take the streaming one without hesitation in a moment's notice. I don't even know that I wouldn't even think about it. The threat of doing the thing that I don't want to do, which is I'm sure just like a lot of you, I really badly don't want to die making someone else money with no respite or time for myself at the end, because I don't believe that there's anything on the other side of this. You know, I feel like this is all there is. So the idea of working literally until I die panics the shit out of me. So I would much rather have like if I live that long, I'm guaranteed to be reasonably okay doing something that I love versus grinding it out as somebody else's fucking lackey with the potential upside of hitting it, like playing the lottery but running the risk of working for somebody else. All the way back in theater, I thought I was going to end up starting a theater company with one of my friends because I just never wanted to be somebody's employee. After 30, you feel that slow series of aches and pains from all of your younger years catching up. That's the universe saying, shh, it's time to go. That's what I'm saying, is like, I feel mortal, and I don't feel elastic, and I don't feel as driven and hungry as I did 15 years ago. There's a part of me that's looking forward to a umbrella drink and a beach. Carl tried to eat the AC man. Carl, like bad, or like nip bad? If I win the lottery, I'm taking the annuity. The provincial government runs the lottery. They aren't going under. I take nothing for granted anymore. I've heard the word unprecedented too many times in my life. The word unprecedented has shown up too many times in my adult life. On a bright note, my cat is being cute and demanding under the chin scratches. That is, we need more of that. We need more of that. For real, I flinched when you said the word unprecedented. That's where I am. When I was a kid.
Hey man, those are bits.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad saying, like, my dad said the same thing. My dad was like, Ryan, you ever win the lottery, you take the lump sum. And I was like, Dad, my whole life's in front of me. Why wouldn't I just take more money over a longer period of time? Now that I'm 43, I'm just like, fuck all that. You give me exactly what I can get now. It's more than enough to live. I'll pay the taxes on the rest and I'll have it in hand and I don't have to worry about ever getting screwed in a situation that's never happened before. Oh, but it will. Every situation will happen at some point. That's what I've learned. I don't know exactly what went down last year, but y'all balled out of your fucking minds last year. In fairness.
Hey, man, those are
Here's the
bits.
additional 65 bits because I hate carrying a balance. Thank you so much. Would you prefer to be reimbursed in Commander's merchandise asking for a friend who is a lawyer for you? I liked them better when they were called the football team. Genuinely, I always really liked that name. I really hope that whatever the new guy's name is, I hope that it was Harris, the new owner? I hope he changes the team's name again and does either something good or just goes back to football team. Football team was great. I genuinely like the Washington football team. There's a solid story that we'll be changing our names next year. Yeah, just, you know, the fucking team's colors are maroon and gold and you're gonna name them the Washington Commies? Like, come on. I know you're Dan Snyder, but how many bad decisions can one owner make? I'm rooting for you. I don't want any fan base except Philadelphia to feel the kinds of sadness that Washington fans have been subjected to over the years. Like, I hate you because you're my NFC East rival, but like I still have a sense of brotherhood because we're both trapped in this same shitty division. Was football, Noah. Was football. Fuck me, your owner was terrible. Just so bad. Good grief. Phil, I hope you have an awesome day, dude. I appreciate you hanging around. Did Lisa say a thing that got swallowed up? We're millennials. We don't subscribe to hope. Agreed. Oh, the good job, Lisa, was the itty bitty. Gotcha. That reminds me so much of my dad. Hey, can you do me a favor? Remember I paid for your college back in 1999? Yeah, Dad, I'm aware. You remind me nearly every week. I also recall that I went on a 90%, I will say academic, but an alchemic scholarship would have been fucking delightful. We hang out with one of the long-tenured Hogettes, and his wife works a lot with the charity team events. We were talking to them about how wound up they are for this season. Honestly, really just the Eagles. The Eagles are the only team where I'm just kind of like, I hope that their fucking stadium burns down. I don't hope that anybody dies. I'm not a monster. But anything that would make them sad makes me happy. But I've got a lot of friends who are Washington fans, and they're good people, and I see the pain this team causes them, and I'm like, I'm glad you've got a new owner. I hope things turn around. Not so much that I'm jealous of your football existence, but I'm not rooting for the kind of misery I've seen you have to endure. I bought this game on mobile, first time playing it, gotta say it's really, really fun. I wanted to check out the PC version. Yeah, Ford, this game's great. So chat, I was not initially the kind of guy, how do I say this? I had no intentions of playing this game originally, and then chat gave me money and said, please play Dead Cells. And I've made it into my morning game for the last couple, have you been playing this for months now? Oh shit. He's a sad boy. Yeah, I made this my morning game because I enjoy it so much, and I'm just kind of, I don't know how long I'm gonna play it, but I'll play it until I'm tired of it, but I haven't gotten tired of it in weeks of playing it for hours a day. This isn't paid time or sponsored time. They're not kissing my ass, I'm not kissing theirs. They've not given me money to say nice things.
Hey man, those are bits.
I just like this game very much. Ooh, Billy. That said, I am on not like the hardest difficulty, but I'm on the medium hardest difficulty. And if I'm playing, I can't read chat because every time I look at chat, I get hit by some shit that I didn't know was there. Oh no, let me put it this way. I hope the Commanders FedEx Field burns down so that they're forced to get a new stadium. That place is like a prison recreational yard. That place looks like what I imagine juvie looks like. It's so fucking gross. But yeah, like I don't wish any more misfortune on Washington fans than what they've had to endure. I'd be amazed if Andrew and Lucas weren't trying to find a way to go. Actually, I wonder if this is something I can help with. Honestly, if you like, I would love to go with you because I just like the NFL. I'm not looking to spend money to go to Commanders games. I like the food at Nats Park, and I don't feel one way or the other about your baseball team, and it's a nice park. So I'll go with you to all the Nats games. I fucking hate your stadium, and I'm generally rooting against your team to win. And when they win, and I'm in person there, I feel like I've paid. It's like paying for a root canal. Like nothing about that's pleasurable to me. So if Lucas and Andrew want to go, or you can take one of them, yeah, I'm sure that they're budget conscious too. But if you're gonna shell out for a friend to take a ticket, make it a fan. If not, I'll still happily go with you. I just don't want to pay for it. I'll pay for a round of beer. I like beer. Beer gives me something pleasurable in return for the cost. But yeah, I'm not looking to take back my loaned money in the form of I was on the fucking chain, dude. Fuck the lot of you. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're not cool. Fuck this guy. Sorry, I got a little upset that I got sniped off the chain and I couldn't remove myself from it. Oh shit, Jadestone, thank you so. I'm sorry, I was trying to rationalize and work through all my feelings about not getting my money back. And Jadestone dropped 600 bits and says, I heard Taffy needs money. Yesterday was a good day, but yeah, any day really. That's I am back in a place where I keep what I kill. So that's made me scrappy again. I can no longer be like, well, I can be fat and lazy, just not like in work ethic. In work ethic, I can't be fat and lazy. As it turns out, I'm really good at being fat and lazy in just life, but... Shit, I haven't seen a corrupted artifact in a minute. Yeah, this would be fun as hell on the stream deck. You're absolutely right. I agree. New ownership already identified 80 million in upgrades for FedEx Field. Are they going to build a smaller stadium inside the newer or the old stadium? I have not gotten to Steam Deck yet. Speaking of things I just can't see myself affording right now. I want it. I put it on Throne in case some froggy whale is feeling it, but... I'm speaking of feeling froggy. But I just can't. 1 second. Oh. I put it on Throne in case some whale's feeling froggy. He almost got me. But yeah, I'm just, that's for something that I'm not actively going to use in the business. That's That's a juicy expense that I can't rationalize right now. As cool as it would be, I would use it almost exclusively personally, which makes it tough to rationalize, unfortunately, as badly as I want one. Is the Food XL up and running? Rini had a thing pulled together. Is it exclamation point eat this? I think might be it. Might be it. Oh man, I didn't know that he had that kind of range. Oh my god, I didn't even see him. Scared the shit out of me. My hands just started sweating. I had no idea that fucking Renob was there. I have a lot of work to do on that and the original Food Bible. Yeah, I've got a lot of work to do on that and the original Food Bible to get it up to my snuff. I should have done it last night, but I just wasn't feeling doing anything last night. So I didn't do anything last night, you know? But sometime in the next week or so, I should definitely get on there and marry the food recommendation. Marry the food recommendation. Oh, Jesus! Marry the food recommendation and the Food Bible together, for sure. Would you do the guar bar for the novelty? You're never gonna believe this, Frimry. I got what I think is my first native organic comment from a Richmond follower who does not know me from stream, and they recommended guar bar, Cobra Cabana, which is different than Cobra Burger, and Hot for Pizza, which is a pretty renowned pizza joint. So it's funny you should mention that. I got what I think is my first meaningful comment from a person who found me through food reviews and not some sense of obligation out of the Twitch channel. And I was like, oh well, in that case I feel kinda this rat fuck. I feel kind of obliged out of the fact that they were kind enough to do what I asked them to do, which is to offer up some recommendations to me. Yeah, I think that's the source of the name. Got it bad, got it bad, got it bad. I'm hot for pizza. Fuck, pizza sounds good. Shut up, chat. I'm starting to get. Damn it. I guess it is 10:30. This is about that time. I didn't have an egg sandwich, but I did have a. I didn't have an egg sandwich, but I did have a chicken salad sandwich of all things this morning. I know you like to work out with Persona music. I just want to let you know the Persona 5 Royale and P4G soundtracks were removed from Spotify. You can still find the music though if you use the Japanese names. Okay, neat. Well, I mean, bummer, but neat. Damn. Yeah, I 100% have a Persona playlist on my Spotify. Suck, I hate that. I don't like that at all. I've been using, for the last year or so, I've been using Arcane's music. Rarely does that fail. Rarely does that fail. But I do have to mix it up sometimes. TikTok's got me on a big Paramore kick. Persona. A lot of video game soundtracks, Hades, that kind of stuff. But yeah, Persona was in the mix for sure. Breakfast pizza, any pizza is breakfast pizza. Any pizza is breakfast pizza. Just use the Japanese composer's name to look up the music. Sounds good. Schlotsky's is buy one, get one pizza on Wednesday, and it's slightly better than eating cardboard covered in tomato sauce. I don't think I have a Schlotsky's in Richmond. Schlotsky. I'm gonna spell it all wrong. Locations. There are no Schlotsky's in Virginia. I saw the get ready for a concert with Hayley Williams for Vogue. She is made of precious. She is fucking great, I think. I had a crush on her all the way back when. But I'm happy to see that the rest of the world is kind of catching up. I had a crush on her way back in the way back, but I am chuffed to see the rest of the world also getting on board. Schlotsky's D's nuts. I've been informed that we accidentally found ourselves in the bougie neighborhood for reasons that I cannot post publicly. I'll DM you so we can boggle it, so you can boggle at it too, Taffy. Done. I love the 8-bit retro music that sounds like Tetris techno. I got way too much chiptune stuff when I was the owner of a record company. I got kind of video game music, like traditional video game music. I kind of got traditional video game music to death as the owner of a record label that was set in the gaming industry. Oh, Billy. Nope. Hold on, fellas. Fucking chill, woosah. I didn't realize how fucking many of you there were. Jesus. Nope. I need the help. Every time I took another step, it just got worse. I didn't think there were that many enemies left. Oh, I thought for sure he was gonna pop to life. Dicks and balls, man. I do not have a lot of health. Normally I wouldn't go pick a fight with two dudes just hanging out while I'm trying to finish the floor, but the regenerative nature of my weapon means that if I don't muck this up, I can get a little bit of my health back. Boy, a very little bit of my health back. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Y'all got any of those meat sticks hanging around? Thank you. I think we have the death fight next, right? You can do it. Whee. Ah, Cece's. It's garbage pizza, but I'll eat it. I'd never pay for it, but if Noah was like, hey, do you want to go to a Washington football game? I'm springing for Cece's, all of this is on me. I'd be like, well, if I can't find anything else to do, then all of this will be fine, I guess. I'm gonna try to stay alive here. Honestly, Otaku Gal, 15 years ago would be about the last time I was at a CC's, if I'm being real. I didn't leave health behind, did I? There was no health to be had, was there? No. Ugh. I'm terrified that if this fight goes wonky, that I'm gonna get hit so fast that I can't do anything to save myself. Oh, I'm not worried about this being the run. I don't even know what I'm trying to accomplish. I'm just kind of, ever since we killed that giant, I've just kind of been walking around. Eventually, I'd like to go to the Undying Shores and figure that fight out. That hurt, like, real bad. Nope, nope. Oh, mercy, mercy me. Oh, things ain't what they used to be. Oh, no. I thought I could get underneath that. I was trying to heal you, dick. Oh, you can't do that right. Oh no! I tried to get up, but I couldn't. Every time I go up, he throws up. Every time I go down, he throws down. I also, like, once you can't, like, once you couldn't stun him, there was just no damage to be done. Ugh. I was trying to regenerate health by, like, just wailing on him, but it wasn't nearly enough.